Sixth point is training. Again, you can have the best, shiniest prevention plan in the world, but if it's just a piece of paper that's sitting in a filing cabinet and collecting dust, it's absolutely useless. And so how do you bring that plan alive? Well, you communicate it to the people who are representing you, who are supposed to be upholding the plan. When you first put the prevention plan in place, you have an initial training period, an initial training seminar. And again, one of the things that's different, and Melody can talk a little bit about this too, is the idea that it's always hard. It's kind of like the old saying is, it's as hard as herding cats, right? Try to get cats together and herd them like cattle, it doesn't work. Well, trying to get all your workers together in September or October to take a training session on the same night when they've got kids doing everything, like every activity possible, it's getting 100% of the people there sometimes isn't realistic. So do you have 2 or 3 training sessions? And so there's some options now in terms of online training and having people going through it, answering questions, and basically showing proof that they've completed it. And something that's fairly new, but again, will work really well with people with busy schedules, okay? And also just refreshers. As you go into a new year, as you're going into curriculum, events that are going to take place during your midweek programs, Boys and Girls Clubs, youth programs, as you're planning these things, you also need to go back through your plan to protect so that the workers understand what are our policies and procedures, what am I supposed to do and not do. Even the issue of what about identifying possible signs of abuse? And I'm not talking about abuse that takes place at your organization, but think about this for a second. When kids come from homes, they're coming from a variety of homes, and they could be in tough situations at homes where they're being molested, where they're being abused. They might show up in your organization with visible signs of abuse, or they may say something to you. Interestingly enough, you can't ignore it. You're actually supposed to report it. That's not a suggestion, it's the law. It's not an organizational suggestion, it's an individual responsibility. And so in your protocol, you may say, well, we don't want people calling child protective agencies or the police. Bring it to the person who's in charge, and then we'll make the report, okay? But the idea of the requirement to report visible signs of abuse that's happening in the home, I mean, technically it's a criminal offense not to. That's part of training your workers to understand what they are supposed to do, what's required of them by the law. Circulating a staff handbook containing the organization's policies and procedures. If you take a look at Plan to Protect, the new version, and again, it's available at the table outside for Winning Kids, where Melody. It's a great document. It's well laid out, clear, comprehensible, lots of great examples. Whether you have a copy for each worker, or whether you have a summary report that goes to workers, however you set it up, and again, Melody may have some ideas about what's working practically, but you have to communicate what's in here to your workers. They need to know what they need to know.